What's up, YouTube? Today I have a 2024 Polaris Xpedition, and I'll be taking you through the steps of how to replace your 19mm brake master cylinder to a 22mm brake master cylinder. The reason that we're going to do this is it gives you much faster braking on your vehicle. If you own one of these, you know out of factory, the Rangers and Expeditions have horrible braking. I don't know why they don't fix this out of the factory, but nevertheless, this fixes this. I will like to mention as well, a gentleman named Scott Payne on an Expedition page on Facebook went over the steps of how to do this, or he at least outlined the parts you need to get. I would like to make a video to show people to make it easier with basic hand tools in about an hour, say up to 2 hours at maximum, or you shouldn't be doing this if you can't figure this out. An hour, you can do all of this very, very easy. So I'm going to show you guys the parts that we need and give you some parts number. So number one here, this is, make sure I'm on it. This is a brake master cylinder off of a, let's see here, 2019 Polaris Slingshot front brake master cylinder, part number 1912549. Right here, you have to buy a smaller reservoir for it, and that is a brand of EMPI dual circuit brake reservoir. It fits type 1 Beetle 67 to 69. And right here is M8-1.25 by 30 millimeters long. You only need 2 of these. I went ahead and bought this off of Amazon. This was like 15 bucks. This was 20 bucks, and this was 90 bucks. Very, very simple. I will post all the part numbers in the description of this video. So let me set this GoPro up over here. I'll show you how to take it off. I'll show you how to put all this together, and I'll show you how to put it back on. All right, this is located by your left front tire. I've already taken the bolts out off on the inside. I'll go over that in a second. You have 2 outlet ports right here. Your number 1 outlet port is for your front brakes. Off the back of there, you see a plug. This plug right here, it's purple. This is your brake pressure switch. Basically what that does, when you step on your brake, it tells your engine or your ECU, hey, we're good to start. We have pressure on our brakes. We will not let you start if you don't have brake pressure. That's why sometimes if you blow a brake line or something like that, you go to start the buggy, it won't turn over. You put a pair of vice grips on the brake line, it builds pressure, now you're good to start. Anyways, this is just a little clip. You pull back on the tab and pull out. This is located right here. This is for your front. This is an 18 millimeter, and what I found easiest to do is unplug your brake pressure sensor switch. You unplug it, and then you can stick a socket over top of it like this, and then you can just unscrew it. All right, now let's move. This should be the front. I believe this one's the front. Well, these go to the back. This one's for the front. I had that switched up. It doesn't really matter. This is a 12 millimeter socket. Once again, you unscrew those. Okay, let's move inside. One moment before we move inside. This is a little dust shield, dirt shield, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's a heat shield because it's not protecting you from heat. Anyways, this is a T40 Torx head. There's 2 of them. You take those off. Okay, let's move inside. All right, from the inside, the 2 bolts that come through, there's one right here and there's one on the other side. 13 millimeter. Take it off. This little bolt that goes through and it holds the plunger on your master cylinder. 5/16 on this side, 5/16 on the other side. Just take those off. Okay, now that you have your brake lines disconnected, you have the 13 millimeter and the 5/16 bolts off of the inside. This is loose. I didn't worry about taking the brake fluid out of here. It'll come out of there. If you're worried about getting dirty, don't do it. Literally just pull it straight out. It comes out very easily. All right, let's go over to the bench. All right, so this is your Polaris Slingshot brake reservoir. This is what comes on stock. You just pull that up. It doesn't pull up very easily, but what I did is I put this in a vise right here, put a little pry bar in here, pull it up. It doesn't unscrew. There's no bolts. You pull it straight up out of there. So you take that off of there. Another thing I would suggest is this is a 13 millimeter nut right here. Set that back a little bit and unscrew this. You don't want to screw it all the way. Leave yourself a couple threads in there. I'm not going to tighten this, but I'm just going to push it back like that. That way when you get it in there, depending on how far back you want your pedal or how far forward, you can adjust it easily. It's going to be a pain to try to get to if you don't do this outside of the buggy. Another thing I'll mention, you're looking at this from this point of view, do not screw in this left side bolt all the way. The right one's fine. Don't unscrew the left one all the way, and I'll show you why here in a second. Alright, so for this part, I found it easiest. Stick it up this way. That's why you don't screw this one all the way in, because as you turn this, you're going to need a little bit of clearance to get the first one started. So just turn it in there, and those will match up perfectly. There's nothing to unscrew or anything. Boom, it's in there. There's a little bit of a gap right there, but when you tighten it from the other side, it'll tighten it up. So I'm going to go inside, put the nuts on the back side of these bolts. Well, first I'll tighten this side. Once it's in, go ahead and tighten the side you didn't tighten all the way. Put it in. Going to put those 13mm bolts on the back of it, and then I'll meet you back out here. Okay, so once you tighten from the inside, you put your brake lines back on there. I will say, originally on your stock master cylinder, the front brakes go to this back one, and the back brakes go to the front one. At least that's how they were in mine. To put these back on, I didn't have enough clearance to get this one, which is the back brakes, back to the front, and the front brakes back to the back. So I had to switch them. I don't know if that matters. I really don't think it does. I think this distributes the pressure evenly, but I guess we'll see. And then you put your clip on the back of there. Also, this has a baffle in there, so when you fill this up, it fills this first side, then it goes over the baffle and fills the back side. So when you're bleeding the back brakes, don't just keep pressing on your pedal and thinking, oh, I got all the fluid in the world. No, because this will actually drain out pretty fast. Well, hopefully that helps somebody. And like I said, I didn't come up with this. A guy named Scott Payne on the Xpedition page did. He posted all the links of where to buy the stuff. And for 130 bucks, I would say it probably boosts your braking power by 50%. I mean, it stops. You're not stopping on a dime, but you're stopping a lot better than what you were before. I would also like to say this is all stock suspension, so there's been no different upgraded control arms or shocks, any type of suspension that I had to alter to make this work. So this will fit on your stock buggy. There's probably about 1 inch, 3/4 to 1 inch of clearance between the front of this master cylinder and your shock tower right here. I haven't had any problems with it. I've only did some street driving on it, but other than that, for 130 bucks, it's definitely worth it. So thanks for watching. Hope it helped.